Cos. Yeah. Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. I gained 10 pounds so quick. On top of it up today, how you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been
good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, ring that bell so you know when we're coming on. Make any comments. We always get back to you. And listen, people, we only 2 subscribers away from getting to 500. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. It doesn't cost you any kind of money just to get on it and subscribe. And so, brothers, man, it's been 7 days. How you been? What's going on, my man? Derik, talk to me, player.
Hey, man, just hanging in there, man. Had an up and down week. But what don't kill you make you stronger, brothers. You know what I mean? I did have an interesting conversation. With my son today, my middle son especially. He had his first racist moment today. All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he got called the N-word. All right.
By a non-black person.
By a non-black person with
wow.
the ER on the end.
Oh, nigger.
I mean? Yeah, the nigger. So it was pretty interesting to hear him say it and kind of laugh it off. And he wasn't bothered by it, especially he was more. He said, Dad, I wasn't really upset. He said I wasn't sad. It didn't make me sad or angry or anything. He was just surprised by it. You know what I mean? Apparently this person had made a whole bunch of different off-color remarks and off-color jokes, you know what I mean, about people's race and sexuality and everything. And he got called, this other boy got called to the, people called him on it. And he just kind of doubled down and went all in it and just said, hey, you shut up, to my son. And he was like, okay. So, it was kind of interesting because, I remember being called nigger every day in the first grade. I came home telling my mother I was white. I thought, I guess because I thought I got to choose or something. You know what I mean? So, my experience about it was, you punch someone in the face and they learn to stop saying it. Enough time. But he didn't have that reaction though, so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of freeing to know that maybe this next generation doesn't hold the same weight. You know what I mean? That it does for me. You know what I mean? I guess it's if something can't bother you, then then it doesn't. It just doesn't do anything to you. So I thought that was interesting.
Let me ask you a question. So how was this reported to the school? You just kept it like
the other child got a stern talking to.
And that's it.
I mean? Yeah, which is about par for the course, as you would think. You know what I mean? So I said, well, listen, son, it won't be the last time. You know what I mean? There'll be plenty of other times. Wait till you become an adult. You know what I mean? That's when things get real interesting. But as it is right now, he seems to have a good, healthy opinion about it, a good, healthy outlook about it. It didn't hurt him too much, which is good, and I told him as much, but he's gonna learn that people, it's gonna happen again, and it's all about how you react to certain things. You don't let people tell you who you are, basically. You know what I mean? So he knows. So that's my thing for them today. But other than that, man, just had a good time. We're celebrating the birthday of my goddaughter here at the house as well. She's turning 20 today. So it's just a wonderful. So happy birthday to you, Kai. I love you so much, honey. And we're just enjoying family time as well. So so that's what's happening today. So it's a good day.
What's up, brother Rodney, man? How was your day, man? How was your week, man? I'm sorry.
Well, my week wasn't as interesting as Derik's, but the thing is, I know I said before that me and my wife started binge watching The Wire. So I'm gonna make an announcement. While my wife is now a Wires fan.
Oh, that's what's up.
So she's hooked on it now, and we've been watching that all week. And the other thing, I gotta bring this up. Me and my wife went out to dinner to a black-owned establishment, and we had a very unpleasant stay at the restaurant. I'm just going to give my advice to anybody that has a black-owned business. When your business is pretty much new, and we're talking about it's not even 2-3 years old, and you're an owner, you have to be there. You can't imagine, you can't think that the place is running itself. You know what I mean? There was a lot of complaints that night, and basically a new manager who basically told me that this was his actual second day at work, and there was no owner to be found. So I found that a little disturbing. So pretty much you're probably home somewhere or wherever, because I know there's more than one owner, watching the place just burn down, you know. But I just wanted to bring that up because it kind of bothered me to see that, because that establishment was one of my favorite restaurants, and then it seems like I might not be going back there again. You know. But I just wanted to bring that up. You can't leave the business too early. You gotta ride with it for a little while, maybe till you can get a solid manager to run it for you. But it wasn't a good look that night. Couldn't get a drink. You know. Man. Yeah. I mean, in your money in a restaurant, your money is in the drinks. You know.
And I really want black establishments to do well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
You always want to support them as much as possible, man.
Correct.
Yeah. Service is so important. You know?
Service is everything in a restaurant. I mean, you know, if the service is good, that's one of the first things you tell somebody when you talk about the restaurant, is that the service was great. You know, and then probably the second thing is the food, or maybe the food then the service. I don't know, depending on the person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. But other than that, my week was pretty good. I'm starting to notice it's getting a little chilly. The fall weather's kicking in, and you know, I like the fall. But that's about it. That's about it for me.
Yeah, but no, it's so crazy with all the technology now. When you say that, right, the owner's not there. And I remember when you was remodeling this house, you had what's the thing called, Rod? The camera thing.
I had the Ring cameras. Yeah.
You would think with all the technology now, you would go at least look at your business. If you got, say you got to be home, you got to babysit kids. My wife might be there's a few owners that I know this about you talking about, and they had to be at home at night, and he had to do whatever it is. When you think you just open up your laptop and just see what's going on and see how things looking, and then you could call like, yo, manager.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? I'm looking at table 32. These people still sitting there, and I'm looking at they react. What's going on? Talk to them.
Yeah.
But technology now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be.
No, you're making sense, D. But and also too, I think me and you discussed this. I said it was more than one owner. I think that what you said, 3 owners? It's 4 owners.
I think it's 4. I believe it's 4.
How could not, out of 4 owners, not one of them be there at the restaurant and the place is collapsing?
I know. I was with his cousin yesterday, one of the owners yesterday. I forgot to bring it up. So
yeah.
Right there. Somebody said you stay on those cameras. You're not lying.
I do it too. We were on vacation. That's how I found out the tree fell on my wife's car, because I checked the cameras. You know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah. You got a point there, D. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it with all this technology.
Technology doesn't make sense, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brother Kelvin, man, how was your week, man, with the jersey on?
Not at liberty to talk about my professional football team at this moment. I want to say this. The week was pretty good. Trying to make that transition from summer to fall, it's upon us and everything. But I want to pay a tribute to you guys tonight. I'm going to tell you, I don't want any division with the Let's Chop It Up crew. I'll tell you like this. When I'm in the streets of New York and people come to me and they're like, oh, Kelvin, I watched your show because of you. But Kelvin, you the star and all that stuff. I tell them, look, I said, this is a group. I know I am to Let's Chop It Up what Michael was to the Jacksons. What Beyonce is to Destiny's Child. What Timberlake was to his thing. That means we're a group. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I want you fellas to know that. You know what I'm saying? It's all together. I'm excited. I'm really excited about what we're doing, man. We're coming up on a big number with the show. Everything is great, and I look forward every week to chopping it up with the crew. So that's how my week has been. I can take everything that I go through and come and share it with our audience and share. You know where I'm at. I'm talking about the natives. I'm talking about fireworks. I'm talking about people stealing license plates and Red Bull machines. In other words, Dr. King's vision is working. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't working over here. These motherfuckers still playing goddamn music late.
Nah. But
On
everything is good, man.
Sunday.
D, more importantly, man, how was your week? How's everything with you?
Man, my week is all right, man. Trying to get my leg bending, I guess with a 90-degree angle, whatever it is now. So it's not that bad. But I'll tell you one thing I noticed being when you got a disability for a little while, this cane is a savior. People open up the doors for me.
Mhm.
They let me walk across the street.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, oh, go ahead, have a seat. I
Mhm.
love this shit. I'm taking this shit on the airplane with me every time.
They're gonna bring your wheelchair. That's what they're gonna
wheelchair, because especially at Charlotte Airport, it seems like your terminals are so far apart. And I knew in the Delta terminal on JFK is like forever walk. So I think I'm loving this handicap. I just gotta get that damn sticker like Long Island people.
Oh,
Somebody got to hook up with
those
this
out there, boy. We got those out here.
They might have run. They might have run out of them. So many people
just
got.
might, man. Everybody got one out here. I don't understand.
Yo, my 7-year-old got one. No, and ain't nothing wrong with them.
With the trainer wheels.
She got one for her bike.
Yo, that's crazy, man. But I can't. I gotta get one. This shit is working out for me, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm getting really nice treatment.
Yeah.
Except when they call me an old man. Sit down, old man. Like shit. That's the only thing. But otherwise, it's a good man. It was a good week, man. The fall, I'm like, I hate fall. I'm not saying hate fall. It's okay because it's good sleeping weather, but especially big motherfuckers like me, you can sleep like a baby. But I don't like the summertime.
There you go, Sean. Hook them up.
Shauna, Shabab, I need that. And I know the other thing. The other thing we talked about with the darkening your windows hookup. So I need that too. But anyhow, man. So let's see what's up, man. Kelvin, man. Well, anything else bothering you, man? Anything what's been on your mind? You know, you always got something going on.
This is kind of universal, and I'm gonna say this, and this conversation needs to be had, and I've got to say this to the DMV. We got to make a change. This idea of giving people licenses because they can parallel park a car is too much now. Really, we're suffering from it. People cannot drive. Now, we already know people with minivans can't drive. And I'm not going to say who else can't drive.
I love minivans, man.
No, I'm telling you, it's really, really bad now. I'm driving on a bridge the other day, and this dude just decided to stop and decide where he want to go. I'm talking about he literally just stopped. There's no reason. In other words, he was thinking he's going to hit a ghost in front of him. There's nothing there. And I'm saying people cannot drive. You know how back in the day you used to get frustrated with one bad maneuver or not. Right now, it's 90% of the people out there that just cannot drive. And we need to come up with some type of system where every year you got to get tested. Something has to happen. There's too many cars on the road. And I'm talking about as soon as people come and land in America, they at the DMV. It's like and I'm saying it may be different rules to different countries and things like that, but this is the worst driving I have seen since automotive travel started. It is really, really bad. And they really need, because realistically, you tell somebody to take a written test, have them make 3 left turns and parallel park, and you send them out there amongst everybody, and they trying to kill us. It's really, really bad. How many times when you driving do you literally find yourself just going off? And it used to be like once, per week. It's every 5 lights you at now where people can't drive. People can't even play it off. Am I bugging, or is it like that?
No, you got a point.
I was trying to say every 2 years.
Damn.
And you can age out. Just be honest. You can age out.
That's
right. Losing is the new winning.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Ask a Trump supporter. They'll tell you all about it, right?
The Jets are trying to be first place for the first round pick every year. That's all they trying.
Yeah. The Jets are the Sha'Carri Richardson of football right now.
Yo, why y'all look? I'm not. Even though what y'all saying is true, I'm not gonna have the Jet shape. You know what I'm saying? We show up every week and lose with dignity.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll tell you one place I don't drive my car. One area in New York, I don't like driving in Flushing.
And don't you say why?
I'm not saying why. I'm not saying why. I'm not gonna ban the ban.
Yo, Dammy, run the scroll for what he was thinking.
First of all,
I'm not gonna say.
I agree with you too.
I'm just kidding. One part, the Queens.
Yo,
I agree.
In Flushing, there's no need to take a car. There's nowhere to park. There's nowhere to park. Where are you going with your car to Flushing? Where are you going to park the car?
In some of these countries, people their car used to be an animal, so this is a little different. When they get the horsepower, it's a little different. I'm just saying.
It's coming.
I'm just saying they ain't used to the roads. and they know that the smooth
I
street.
can't front. He tells the truth though.
It's different.
Let me tell you, everybody out there, save your comments. We're not trying to hear it because
nah. And there's like certain Caribbean islands. You know, we've been there. You be nervous as hell sitting in the car.
All right, D, we getting there now.
All right, let's go. All right. All right.
Driving, they drive with 2 feet too.
Okay, get the stroll ready. Get the stroll ready.
I didn't say. I just said they drive with 2 feet.
He didn't say nothing.
Yeah, that's
but
it.
We all understand.
Yeah.
And they come from countries where the steering wheel's on the other side. That might throw them off a little bit.
It's like y'all want the scroll. They like the scroll.
No. But they engineer cars very well.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this.
Yo, man.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So let me see. All right. First, I want to chopping block tonight. Man, this one got to come from my sister Amanda Sales. Man, shout out to her sister Amanda Sales for this one. She put a few things in perspective for this. But so what she said was, the Democrats need to do more to maintain support. So, Jamie, can you play this video from my sister Amanda Sales, please?
The Democratic Party is it's spineless. It's like they don't really have any flavor. You have something that is so mediocre and bland. It's like unsalted soup. You ever had unsalted soup? It's horrible. They expect people to get behind them simply because they're not Republicans. Just not being Republicans is not enough. You should have something that is antithetical to the powerfulness of their hate. And you don't. I hate when people say like, oh, Amanda, you're a Democrat. No, I'm not. It's like khakis at the Gap. You know, it's just like, yeah, they're solidly made, but they don't really have any purpose other than just going to work with a sensible shoe. We need something way more than a sensible shoe at this point in this country. We need a fucking stiletto with a knee-high boot that can knock these motherfuckers out. And I'm not running for office, so who the fuck is it gonna be?
Thoughts, gentlemen?
I think she's right.
Yeah.
I think she's 100% right. I think that I always said this. We've had conversations with you guys. I said the Democratic Party is definitely the weaker of the two parties, you know. And I tell you right now, with this administration, you're seeing a lot of things that kind of resemble some of the issues that we had with Trump, causing division. We got problems with people mistreated at the border, you know. I mean, they're starting to look a little like the
promises not kept.
The fact his name is politics. I think the difference is what she's talking about is whatever, just go hard.
Yeah.
You even respect somebody if they're wrong, but they stand on it. In other words, it just always seems to be very bland, like she said. And so one thing you could say with that last administration, they just went unapologetic about everything.
Correct. They just did what they wanted to do.
You know what I'm saying? You look at Lizzie Graham and them, they're like, that's right. You know, we changed the rules midstream, appoint a Supreme Court justice. We'll change our position. That's just what it is. Correct. So you have to go for yours. And that's true. They are weak. They are weak. And I got to admit, 95% of us support them with no requirements. And that's true.
I kind of feel after this administration, I think a lot of minorities, they're going to lose a lot of minorities this time. I think that this is going to be the blow that's going to take a lot of minority voters out for them. I really do. I believe it. I didn't believe that in the beginning, but now with what I'm seeing going on, I believe it now.
Because it's very simple to me. What happened was when Trump came into office, you were supposed to have a young budding star that you was preparing. Mm-hmm. They got to the end of his administration and still didn't have nobody to run. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. In other words, you need that person that you're grooming to come. And it's the same thing with the mayor of New York. I think you just need somebody to jump in the race that can be creative, innovative, or something like that. Amanda still says she's not running for office. She should. Mm-hmm. I mean, run for something. In other words, sometimes you got to become what you're asking for.
They're drinking from the same well, man. They all drinking from the same well, man. You know, right. So I mean, there's no difference. Like there's, like I said, two sides of the same coin. There's no difference at this point, man. So to me, anyway. So ideally there should be a third party that should come to prominence, but we've been talking about that for a long, long time. So,
but we're burying the lead. We're burying the lead. The lead is this works for people. When it comes to politics, the status quo is very profitable. Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah. Both sides get paid. Both parts of the government get paid. They both have lifetime pensions, and
Correct.
All these things
They
that
get paid from the same sources.
They're
you
both
know?
selling. They're both selling bullshit.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
if you do that long enough or whatever like that, it becomes acceptable. And that's what's going on. So in the moment you do try to come and upset the apple cart, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, like Shauna said, the majority, why they're trying to negotiate, like when they're majority, and what I've been saying before, and I know Jamie gets mad at me when I was saying this, like they're gonna lose our people, big time, big time on this, and they're showing it. People was already like this, like when you said, like kind of feeling like this about Biden from the beginning.
Yeah.
The only person I think that could save it after 4 years that people might get behind, who's moving silent but kind of deadly, is Stacey Abrams. I keep trying to tell you, I keep saying, if they don't go with somebody like that, it's over. It's lights out.
Nah, they're gonna do. They're not gonna get behind them. Nah,
But
man.
that concerns me when you say they're gonna lose our people.
Yeah,
our people don't need to just be lost and sit on the sideline. Then take that focus and put it somewhere.
I know. I get you on that.
I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, forget it. I ain't gonna vote, which is our go-to always. So what I'm saying is,
but that's what they're going to create now, Kelvin. And like I said, I have to backtrack and say that in the beginning I didn't feel this way, but I'm feeling this way now. You know what I mean? And you're going to create a lot of minorities that's not going to vote because the point's going to get proven like, oh, ain't nothing getting done for us. We're not doing that.
You run your own person.
They're betting that our people don't have the attention span, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever's happening this week, that's it. We forget, man. We get off cold way too fast.
Right, but what I'm saying is you just started the show by saying your son, another generation, got called the N-word. We can't afford to lose our attention span because somebody always gonna wake us up with that word and everything else. And so that's why we've got to get somebody that can come in. And I mean, that's why we always talk about the issue of leadership. We need it, but we just don't have it.
Yeah. Somebody brought up a good point that Trump even endorsed Stacey Abrams in one of his rallies because he's mad at Brian Kemp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Columbia.
Adriana from Columbia. Hey.
What up,
Adriana? That's my friend.
Oh, that's your friend. Okay. Cool. So we make sure we know no bot, but I do remember that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
happy birthday to you soon. Tomorrow's your birthday. So happy birthday.
Nice. And then Brad, your birthday coming up in October, end of October. I know that much.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Nice. Right, brother.
Got some birthdays coming up, man. All right. That was our sister Amanda Sills. All right. Now the number one thing trending this week: Robert Kelly, R. Kelly, convicted of racketeering, sex trafficking by federal jury in New York City. I think so. I think he got in the Eastern District.
D, I don't mean to clap off you, but
that's all right.
I'll be honest with you. Sometimes justice is served. In my opinion.
All time. And it took 30 years. I'm just saying that it took 33 decades of this guy running around here. It's another thing when we're going to talk about later on, but black girls not being heard and valued like white women. This guy got away with 30 years of doing this to young black women and girls.
And you know what disturbs me the most? There are so many people that believe that R. Kelly is innocent.
Oh, and a lot of women.
Yeah, a lot of women too. Yeah. The thing is too, I'm not trying to say that there are not innocent people in jail. There are absolutely innocent people in jail. He's just not one of them.
Oh, we saw this shit about 30 years ago when we saw the videotape.
Correct. The thing is, in cases to find this many victims and even have your own brothers make statements in a documentary and all that, that's not somebody that basically gathered some sort of plan against R. Kelly. That's ridiculous to be able to get all these people together to say all this stuff against R. Kelly. That's just basically impossible. R. Kelly was, and always will be a predator, period. I don't want to see R. Kelly ever out on the street, and I don't care what anybody thinks.
I think he will, and he's going from predator to prey very soon. And it's
why he don't get sentenced to May?
I thought it was January.
May 4th.
May 4th? Okay.
May 4th, my mother's birthday.
I think one of the things is they're trying to work out.
Shout out to Mom.
Absolutely. No, they're trying to work out. He's facing charges in other places, so now they're thinking about how they're going to.
3.
Right. They're thinking that those places.
And boys, you're right, Shabab. And
That's
boys.
right.
I forgot the other boys. You're right. I'm sorry about that.
Well, somebody told me something years ago. They said lust has no limitation. It just grows.
When you're a predator, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter. And the thing is, too, like people don't understand that that's a sickness. That's not something that can be rehabilitated. And while you're in prison and you change your mind, they did a study on this, and basically, most of like child predators admitted that when they got out of jail, they were going to do it again.
It's a power thing with them for them. Too.
Correct. It's a control thing. It's a domineering thing. It is a sickness. It's no medicine for it unless you amputate something, but the bottom line is it's not rehabilitatable. You get out, they're going to still do it again.
Let me think also, since it's a racketeering charge, that means he was the top person. So there's other people that layered this crime. So
that's a mob charge too.
There's a mob charge, right? So now when you look at that, other dominoes should start falling.
Yes.
Record labels knew about this. Jive Records, Sony Records, right? I'm just gonna break this down down. I was watching something last night. So Jive Records, who was owned by Sony, was named in a lawsuit by a lady named Tiffany Hawkins. She sued them for $10 million years ago, and they only paid out $250,000. So the record label knew the record label knew that he had this thing because we all know about they knew about the Leah thing. They covered a lot because he was the gravy train.
Correct.
Now, so if you know these acts and you know how racketeering, you abetting in these kind of crimes, it could be a driver. The girl might have left the house. You drove the girl to the house. You dropped her off. That's part of a crime because the rape just went down. You helped them get away with this shit. Drive records probably paid off rape people and stuff like that.
If you were aware that it was, if you were aware,
if people could prove this, there's gonna be lot of heads falling behind R. Kelly. My thing, do you think he starts snitching to knock off some time if he could start knocking out?
Oh, he's definitely going to start snitching, bro. He's definitely going to start doing that, I believe. But but that also speaks to like when you look at the people who were complicit in the crime, all, like you said, all the record label execs and all these other
Clive
people
Carter.
around.
That's the name.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, and I think that also is an indicator of like when we were talking earlier, how so many people feel like, oh, well, he didn't do it. Maybe he didn't do it. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it because on some level you have to know that he couldn't have gotten that far without a bunch of people saying that it was okay. So did something really happen if someone said it was okay? You know what I mean? So there's some confusion behind that.
But this is the way I see it. I don't think they're gonna play ball with him. I don't think they need that.
They don't need anybody else. He's the fall guy. They got what they want.
There's no deal with him. They can go get interns to find out what happened at Jive. They don't need R. Kelly for that. They can get some of these girls to find out there. R. Kelly ain't make no deal. R. Kelly may never see the light of day again. And to Rod's point, he doesn't need to. I mean,
he doesn't need to.
What people have got to do, and all of us have to do it, is separate his artistry from his crime. And that's just the bottom line. And no matter what. Now, every wedding I've gone to, it's been step in the name of love, and it's been all these different things that people have grown to love and they've become accustomed to. You got to make your own decisions. Some people believe, listen, the music is out there. It's talent. I'm going to still, I'll support it. I happen to not want to do that. I decided not to do that. But some people will do that. I don't know.
Trapped in the closet? That's a little... Yeah.
I don't think...
Trapped in the closet. He really trapped motherfuckers in the closet.
Right. That's right. That's what I'm like, it's for the community. See, this is what I think happens in our community a lot. We have been taken advantage of so long and disenfranchised so long. We always feel like we need to defend everybody just in case. And I think we've got to be fair with things like this because he's destroyed more lives than he's actually helped. He's brought more pain and sorrow than he has, brought euphoria. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. But I just think at the end of the day, this nobody's gonna play ball with him. I think he's going to get hit with the max. That's it. I think, and when he gets hit with it, I think they're gonna send a message across the industry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Kelvin. The thing is, I don't think they're gonna play ball with him either because he's the big. They don't. He's the big fish. But and when you snitch, you have to snitch up.
That's true.
So you got to give somebody bigger. You got to give us somebody bigger than you, and there's nobody bigger than R. Kelly in this situation.
Except for the record people down with him. They was
they're not
that's
as
true.
big as he is because he's still the face that everybody's looking at.
He's the face. He's the face of the
client.
client.
Who they want.
Yeah.
So the thing is, too, I do agree with D as well, where I believe that there will be other people arrested in this because the feds did this case.
Mm-hmm.
The feds move different than local police. That's why they hand cases over to the feds, because they have a lot of more resources that they can do and go into an investigation and flip people, get people to talk, get people to tell, get people to testify. They shut down people's bank accounts. If they find anything wrong with your taxes, they get at you. They don't play fair. They don't play fair though. That's why they have such a high conviction rate.
95%.
95. I think actually it's higher than that. I think it's 97.
It might be. So
yeah.
Damn near 100.
97,
Put it like this. It's high. It's high. So the thing is, I really kind of feel, but I can also see too that some of those people may have made deals too and gave information that convicted R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure kind of things out. People that were probably resistant to it, I could see them wind up being prosecuted later.
Yeah. They've got to go for that money from somewhere, and I understand he's in the negative, so they're gonna try to sue somebody attached to him.
He's in the negative. He got all the.
He's broke, bro. He's fucked up.
Well, some of that catalog has got to be worth something.
Yeah, who owns that?
Does he own it? Does he own that catalog?
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't know. John
he's
might
a
own
writer and producer and singer and.
Well, he got some kind of. He should have his publishing unless he fucked up and sold it.
You would think. I believe
people sell it. People sell their publishing and
publishing.
He may have. He may have.
Yeah, all had a concert tomorrow.
Oh, you ain't lying, Sean. You ain't lying about that shit. You ain't lying. People be in that shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Word up. They be
that is
make an album while he was in prison. It would go platinum. You know.
Fact, yeah. He did some old Tupac shit and released some shit dead or in jail. But he going to the hard. People don't realize. People like, oh, he's just going to the feds. I heard people say, you don't understand how the feds go, bro. You don't go to the camp if you got if you're a violent criminal, and you only go to the camp when you only have less than 36. Well, I know some people that had some real money. They was in the camp from the beginning. So, and then he don't go to hard. They put R. Kelly in the hard shit because he had a violent crime.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's people's back in. What it said? What's up?
R. Kelly made bad business deals and does not own his songs.
Well, that's what happens when you can't read.
Oh shit! Right. How do you write these songs? He just sung them out. He just memorized.
He probably picked up a crayon, scribbled it on.
No, he had somebody transcribe it for him.
Yeah, probably he memorized it.
Oh, yeah, he got a tape
recorder. He got a studio tape recorder,
whatever.
But I'm pretty sure that he can't read.
Damn. Well, I mean, fall from grace. I remember when he was on an interview. He said he liked his mother lipstick drinking behind a cup. So I was like,
I remember that.
That who weirdo shit is that, man? We should have fucking locked this motherfucker back then, man.
Yeah.
Weirdo shit.
Remember that.
See, the money in him being a celebrity gave him power. You know what I mean? That's why he was able to do what he did for so long.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, he was. The '90s was his. The early 2000s was
all of it.
Yeah,
all of it. I kept it for a long time. He took it all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then remember, every graduation song was "I Believe I Can Fly."
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah, kindergarten singing that shit, all that stuff.
I went to 1994. I went to his concert at Radio City where he opened for Salt and Pepper. And he was doing 12 play. They was doing Shoop and What a Man. And he was the opener. And he destroyed it. They didn't even need to come out after that. He opened it. But the thing I always said, and I mentioned this once before, he gets up and he says to the 6,000 seat arena in Radio City, he says, how many women don't have a man? How many women are single? And everybody, of course, goes crazy. He said, well, I'll be a man tonight, but you got to be at least 18. I remember sitting there. This is not revisionist history. This is not hindsight. I remember saying, why does that have to be said? Like, it's stuck out my mind. Like, how many of you want to go out with me? Only thing is, you got to be an adult. Like, in other words, you shouldn't have to say that. I remember back then. You know what I'm saying? So that always stuck in my mind.
I know Einstein's point we remember, but it goes back to what like Shauna said and stuff like that. So like Representative Dan Davis says R. Kelly deserves a second chance after the guilty verdict.
So then you know what Dan Davis should do, which we know is not going to happen. If R. Kelly was to get out, why don't Dan Davis let him stay at his house with his grandkids? Since he believes in second chances,
Yeah, he
Give
ain't
him
being
a second chance.
in this situation. So let R. Kelly stay at your house with your grandkids.
And see, that's the problem with self-serving. In other words, just because you like the man's music, and let me tell you something. That was an old concept. I remember when Richard Pryor was asked on Arsenio Hall show what he thought about Mike Tyson being convicted. And Richard Pryor, being from a different era, was like, give him a chance. Give him a chance. And not realizing this is a different era. And I don't know that Mike Tyson did it or not, but what I'm saying was Richard Pryor was very dismissive of it because the man made so much money. He was popular. He was young, and he was a heavyweight champion. You didn't want to see that talent go away. None of us want to see, for selfish reasons, Tyson leave the ring, right? Well, a lot of R. Kelly fans feel like that. And I'll be honest with you, our community will rally around somebody, even to a fault. And that's what's happening now. And as a politician, to me, that's posturing. Because if you're going to say he deserves a second chance, then you need to say every pedophile deserves a second chance. And if you're not willing to say that, and if you don't believe that, you cannot make preferential treatment because of him, because he's talented. His talent was wasted because of his vices, and that's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, R. Kelly, come on, man. I mean, we go look at spread feces on people. We all saw him pee on the girl. That's a little different. I mean, if you peeing on grown women and shitting on them, that's your thing, whatever. But when you talking about little kids, man, and then and watching little boys have sex with the girls, and I don't know if he did it with the boys too, that's some different shit, man. I can't see no second chance for him. Like, R. Kelly couldn't watch my kids' pictures. Like, he couldn't do it, couldn't babysit the kid, like nothing, like anything like that. R. Kelly's done. But this brother said,
I say cancel the man and not their music. Historically, a lot of artists, musical and otherwise, have had a effed up past,
This is
but the problem is the content of his music. The content of his music, it was just going to remind you of
correct.
It's too explicit for me. I can't separate. Yeah. It's just too much.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's too much.
And if you listen to the music, he was telling on himself as well too.
Right.
Yeah. So it's part of what he was doing, and he was actually being arrogant about it. That's what he was doing.
Right.
In these songs.
This was very calculated to pull this off for this long.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? He's done a lot. And what happens is it just comes down to just evil. You can just do that much. You just can just recklessly do this much damage in people's lives. And he knew what he was doing. Those two girls that came on, he sent them girls on air to talk about him and defend him. Correct. Right after that documentary came out. He knew what he was doing.
Correct. And the amount of money that he spent doing this shit, you know what I mean? Paying off families, moving people out of state, you know what I mean? This is just more, it just continues to show more of his sickness,
Did the family take the money?
Yeah, there wasn't one family took the money. Yeah,
they took the money. One, I think it was Sparkle, the niece, right? They went to south of France.
Yeah, so they were complicit.
Yeah.
So they were complicit.
You basically sold your daughter. That's what you did.
Yeah. No, so what is he supposed to? I mean, granted, the man has got an illness, but you got people feeding into it. You know what I mean? So if you sold your daughter, and what's the crime for that? For selling your daughter,
Yeah.
So let's see how that works out.
Yeah. Other news: we got New York City sheriff seizes vans in New York. People using their vans as illegal Airbnb rentals. New York motherfuckers are some creative, customer grinding motherfuckers. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? That's the funny shit of the week.
This is a very creative business move. And I don't know if people saw the vans. They were like those old the Uncle Van. Yeah, the Scooby-Doo vans. Like, I just want to see a person that would go online, book a Airbnb, sleeping in a van in New York City, and basically, I mean, like, where did you go to the bathroom at? Like, I mean, like, it was crazy. That thing probably was riddled with bed bugs, and I mean, those vans were probably from the freaking 80s.
You know what I don't understand? New York is not an event town. Like, we don't have a great Javits Center and stuff like that. So, in other words, it's not like you trying to go to Vegas or you trying to go to Freaknik in Atlanta back in the day or something like that. You just wanted to get there, or Miami. It's not conducive to that. You know what I mean? So
it depends on where you're coming from, Kelvin.
Where they go to the bathroom at?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Listen,
People
don't
they
sleep
going to the
on some of the-
bathroom.
Same place the person that lives in their car does. People live in their car all the time.
God damn.
No,
They got some custom vans, man, with toilets in them, man. I'm trying to tell you.
They're not using the toilet in the van. They just do
No.
what everybody else does.
Probably a bottle, peeing in a bottle.
Yeah, they're doing things like that. But what I'm saying is, I don't know what the purpose was. If you really have to get here that bad, what did you have to get here for? Because everything else in the city is expensive anyway. It ain't like you got here to. If you can't afford a hotel stay, you can't afford to go see a show. You can't
afford to come to New York. You shouldn't even have came if you got.
That's my point. So what do you know what I'm saying? It ain't like Hollywood where somebody's like, "Oh, I'm trying to go out there for an audition." I mean, what is the deal?
Well,
you don't say with the rent is in them. Damn, Shabbat. That's damn. I ain't know that part.
That's cold blooded, man.
Maybe they came to see the Jets lose. And the Giants, and the Giants, and the Giants, and the Giants.
Yo, when we get there, and we are going to, I'll be about 90, but we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now.
Yo, man.
I don't think any of us is going to be here for the Jets to win.
I mean, you know what? It's funny. I told a Jets fan that the other day. I said I finally come to the realization I'm not going to see it in my life.
No,
I finally
you haven't seen it in your lifetime.
I haven't.
Legit have not won a championship in my lifetime, man.
I haven't.
Wow.
I was very happy that I was able to see the Giants win their last Super Bowl because I was thinking this may be the last time that they ever go to the Super Bowl, or it may be, decades again before it happens. But I don't see the Jets.
You'll have to live off those other 4 that you had, right? I understand it's tough.
Yeah.
I feel for you, brother.
Yeah.
Black and white clips of Joe Namath.
But I mean, the Giants ain't far behind right now with what they're doing right now.
I just want one. Give me one Super Bowl in my lifetime, just to see what it's like.
With the Jets?
Yes.
Then I'm sorry, Kelvin. You're probably not going to see that.
You got a better chance of going out of space with $1 billion.
Yeah.
Word up.
Thank you, brother, for the word of encouragement.
You got a better chance of hitting the lottery.
You about right.
Yeah.
You about right.
Listen, man. And we were just talking about R. Kelly, man. So Oklahoma City dad took matters in his own hands when he found out his pastor was being touched, his 9-year-old child was being touched by inappropriately by a pastor. The pedophiles, they got to go. I don't know the other way you had to handle them, but definitely.
Now, let me ask you a question. And let me tell you something. I respect any parent defending their children. And the guy got off easy to me. I don't know if you guys remember this. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm taking you way back. 1983. And this man molested someone's child. The father found out the route that they were bringing the man through to extradite him.
At the airport?
Be on the phone.
I saw it.
I
saw that. Yes.
The man sat in the airport, pretended to be on the phone. When they walked him by,
I remember that.
Pulled out
and blew the guy's head off. Yeah.
In other words,
and surrendered right away.
That's right.
Yeah.
Messing
right.
with it in front of the feds that was transporting the man.
I saw that.
You mess with people's kids. That when I was a kid, my father said, "Don't mess with a man's wife or his children because a man will kill you over his wife and his children." And that is the truth. And people have to learn that. And so, I've worked in ministry for 30 years. And I've worked with young people for just as long. You do not play when it comes to people's kids. And if you have a problem with kids, if you have an attraction to kids, if you have some weird fantasy about kids, you don't need to be around kids. You don't need to work with kids. You don't need to be in the service of children. That is the bottom line. And for him to just get beat up, he got off easy. That's just the bottom line. Because I didn't have any biological children. If somebody touched my nieces or my nephew or whatever like that, I'd be sitting there right next to R. Kelly for different reasons. But we'd be in the same facility. I can tell you that.
I'm going to co-sign that, Kelvin. See, the thing is, right? Me knowing how things work. For me to find out that somebody did that to one of my kids, I know how the system works. So the thing is, the first thing they're going to do is victimize my kid in a trial. You know what I mean? So we're gonna avoid all of that. We're not gonna make it to a trial. We're not gonna talk to the police about it. We're not gonna even make it that far. And I'm going to end it right there because you're not going to add more trauma to my kid. You know what I'm saying? By creating this atmosphere of my child did this and this is why this happened. You know what I mean? And that's what they do in the courts when you get certain attorneys. But we're not going to make it that far.
Right. And people need to understand that. That's the bottom line. You, as a parent, you have a right to defend your wife and your children. Period.
That's right. We're not even going to make a police report. I'm just going to take care of it.
That one-stop shopping?
Yeah, one-stop shopping. And I don't need to even call no police because I don't even need them even looking at me when this happens.
Right.
Oh,
right.
man.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Well, it's time for our little break, man. I don't know if I'm able to have enough time to hop on over to this bathroom real quick, but Jamie, take us out for a little break real quick, man, to the commercial. Appreciate you.
I'm Dawn Kelly, daughter of Joan Kelly, granddaughter of Margaret Ackerman, and founder and CEO of the Nourish Spot. I'm a native New Yorker, born in Harlem and raised in Queens. The community connects to the Nourish Spot through a number of ways, one of which is through my family's 60 years of long-standing roots in this community. My grandfather purchased the first home in our family here in Jamaica. We connect to the community through our employees. We have a number of young black and brown men and women that mask up and glove up to come to work every day so that we can assemble customized fruits and vegetables into what customers want. And so I'm really happy that we have such a great team, and I thank them every day for their dedication and fortitude. COVID-19 has caused a lot of small businesses like myself to close. And so we're very happy that what we've been able to do is pivot. And so instead of allowing individuals to walk into our store, we have set up a QR code, we set up a curbside pickup, and we have a heavier reliance on our food delivery service at partners. So in my opinion, resilience means, taking challenges by the horn, if you will, and kind of wrangling them and navigating them in order to continue, in our case, serving the community. The Nourish Spot is all in Queens.
Welcome back. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Ring the bells. Get the notifications. Make those comments. We love them. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And please tell a friend to tell a friend. We need 2 more. Shout out to the sister in Colombia. Get some more people in Colombia to check us out, man. We love to appreciate you.
D, I hate to cut you off.
Go ahead, bro.
But because we were on this topic of sick people that want to hurt children. I remember that I went to a training session when I worked for the police department, and they gave some tips on how to recognize if somebody is a pedophile. Unfortunately, if somebody in your family is one, or somebody that's maybe visiting your house is one, they said one of the signs is that you will see that the person spends more time with children than they do with adults. Like if there's a cookout and you see somebody that keeps going over there constantly playing with the kids and they don't really interact with the adults, that is a sign. And I'm telling this to maybe help people. And the other thing is when you have a person that is constantly giving kids things like candy, gifts, and offering them money and stuff like that. We're not talking about, Uncle James that comes over and give everybody $1. We're not talking about that kind of guy. I'm talking about when he's always giving kids that he doesn't even know, like gifts, candy, and money. So those are like the signs of somebody that may be, and I emphasize may be, a pedophile.
And watch men that want to be around kids anyway. Like that's
Yeah.
like
and women. And women.
Yeah.
And women, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, the tolerance for it. Like, in other words, being around little kids and babies and stuff like that. A lot of guys are not trying to just do that unless they're your kids.
Correct. It's not natural.
There you go.
It's not natural.
You know, it takes a lot of patience to deal with kids, and
because I'm always trying to get away from my kids.
If I could get up and walk fast, I would have jumped out my seat right now.
Kids drive me nuts, man.
Break, man. Yeah, no, that's cool. I think they call it priming or something like that.
Yeah, it's like priming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're constantly giving them little gifts and
like Mr. Wilson across the street keeps giving your kid stuff or whatever. So my advice is to walk across the street and G-check Mr. Wilson real hard. You know. So
because he's got.
Do you remember? And this is a little different, but you remember? I don't know if this happened when you guys got out of high school. With the dudes that graduated would come back with their cars and be riding around the high school.
Oh hell yeah!
Look, it used to be so lame looking to me. You in college or you graduated, now here you go cruise in the parking lot at the high school. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Jamie, the producer in the background, said, "You remember the episode with Arnold and Dudley when they had that little pedophile?"
Yeah, I remember that
too.
You know what bothers me about that? It reminded me of my age because nobody else is gonna remember that.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be our age to remember that.
Yeah, I remember that though.
That was a classic.
Yeah.
And I think Dudley broke out too. No, Dudley stayed.
Yeah, Dudley stayed.
Yeah, Dudley stayed.
Yeah, and then Arnold bounced out. Crazy, man. They should have got the gooch.
Yeah, that's what they. No, I don't want to wish that on nobody.
Please be careful profiling pedophiles as men. A lot of children have been molested by women because of that speech. R. Kelly being one of them.
Yeah, D said women too.
I did say women too.
I think my point may have been slightly missed. Just from a tolerance standpoint, you know, usually nannies and stuff like that are usually they hire women and stuff like that. When a guy wants to be that, it usually is a higher suspicion.
With women, usually, lots of times if women molest boys, lots of times it doesn't go reported.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't go reported.
Hey, listen, yours truly, older chick got me when I was 9 years old, man.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When you say older, you mean another kid that was just older, or you mean a grown person?
Another kid that was older, but
yeah, that's why you gotta be careful.
Much older.
Yeah. That's why you gotta be careful with that.
Now she
so I want to make sure the right thinks we're making light of it because we're not.
We're not making light of it. No. Yeah. She now, but I wouldn't. If I told somebody, hey, that's where I got my first piece from, they're gonna think it's a man. So I'm like, I'm ashamed actually. I'm serious. It's a heart attack, man. She looked a different kind of way now. Like, whoa. But I think she probably was touched probably back in her day and shit like that. There's some weird shit, man. There's some weird shit. But but let me ask you guys a question, man. Let's get a little lighter. Not a little lighter. I guess it could be a little different. So if you had a young brother about to get married, right? And he came up to you and said, listen, man, my fiance wants to spend $15,000 on his wedding, but the brother saying, listen, I want to put $15,000 on the house for a down payment, man. And neither want to budge on this shit. Like, what kind of advice would y'all give these young people?
So,
man,
wait.
The young man wants to take the same money and put that towards a house, right? And versus the young lady who wants to spend it on the wedding, you know. Mm-hmm. I would say that's a very forward-thinking young man, you know, very responsible person, you know. I always say, like, people want to get married, they don't want to really be married, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, I'm serious. Think about it, you know. Like, you know, everyone they want their day, but they don't think about the day after, you know. Correct. So, you know,
there's a difference between a marriage and a wedding. But let me say this, Derek, to give you a little more context. So in this particular instance, the guy has saved $16,000. Okay, he bought the woman the ring she wanted for $3,000, which he took out of his savings. She now figures that she wants the $16,000.
Oh, Kelvin froze.
And more to have a big.
Oh, there you go.
You froze up a little bit, Kelvin.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
yeah, because it's a really, really icy subject. I'm just, you know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, I look at it like this, right? I agree with what Derik said. Derik said that he's a responsible young man because he's wants to purchase his first home, which is your first step to building wealth, right? And she basically wants to spend the money that's going to cost her that she's going to have one day for. Now, I do believe women should have their day. You know what I mean? You know, you want to get married, but the thing is, if you're not in that position to have a $15,000 wedding, then you can't do it. It's not recommended. The other thing is, I want to know how much money she got. That's what I want to know too. How much money she got. And then the thing is too, I don't tell people to break up, but I know this young man might need to reconsider who he is getting ready to marry.
Yeah, different values.
Because you're not on the same page. As Norred said, they don't have the same values.
Yeah.
And the thing is, don't ignore signs. If somebody shows you who they are, then you believe them.
There you go. Invest the $15K after the house and after the wedding. You don't need $15K for your first house. Yeah. Well,
I don't know what kind of house you buying from under.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe depending on what state he's in. You know, it might be. There's some states. There's houses for 150,000 in some states.
Yeah, it's 40. I seen houses for 75 down south.
Yeah, correct.
You buy.
Be careful.
He don't live here. He don't live here. He don't live here.
He or she. We don't know if it's he or
Not
she.
New York.
Yeah.
You don't want the wedding just for other people, because what I realize is the people that love you, if it's in your backyard, it'll be enough. And if you love each other, that'll be enough. You know. Get dressed, get some pictures, do it somewhere that's affordable. I know people that do it on 4th of July. I know people that do it on Thanksgiving night. They do it and they get a 50% markdown and stuff. You know,
it's insane. Now, people starting their weddings and they're taking loans out for their weddings and stuff.
What happened? Rodney cracking up. What happened?
Because as soon as Kelvin said that they want to get married on the 4th of July, I thought about him with fireworks. I said, Kelvin probably said, I'm not going to officiate your wedding if you don't have no fire. If you got fireworks there, I'm not doing it.
Nah, there's a lot of Monday weddings, man. Monday weddings and Wednesday weddings nowadays, man.
Yeah. But I just want to let people know you have weddings. You don't get that money back.
Facts on that.
You don't get that money back.
Right.
You know, so the thing is, if you pay $15,000 for the wedding, you'll be lucky if you get back $5,000.
That's right.
This is what Shauna wrote. That's a funny shit.
Better do it all over. Get over the Fed up 200 MFs.
Hey, Shauna, was I there? Was I one of the motherfuckers?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, you're starting off in debt, man. You know what I mean? Damn.
Mm-hmm. Starting off in debt.
Yeah, you're starting off bad, man. So you put something on the wedding, the day after, man. Invest your money for the day after. Something that's going to ensure or add to the potential success of the marriage.
No, we need this conversation. I know it's there, Sean. I ain't one of the motherfuckers now, goddammit. My man must have came with his tits out. He ain't put them on the screen. But you know what? I don't know, man. I wish we had some women to chime in on this, man, because I know it's come from men. Because men, we know we don't got no part in this wedding. We just showing up. We just the motherfucker that stand in the picture.
Yeah.
It's really her day and shit like that. But we think about the finance and stuff. I wonder if we had some more women chime in.
Now, let me ask you a question, Kelvin. Have you ever officiated a wedding for people that were already married and they just having a wedding because they didn't get a chance to have a wedding when they couldn't afford it when they got together?
Very, very good question. And so let me make sure I understand it. So the people that already were married, people after the ceremony, right?
Two people probably went to the JP when they was young because they didn't have any money. You know what I mean? And then when they grew, they made some money, they got their lives together. They said, we're going to have the wedding now that we never had before.
Okay, so this is what I've done. What I did was I had somebody that renewed their 10-year.
Okay.
And then they did it big. They did it a little bigger or whatever like that. But I don't do the we got married a week ago and now we just doing it to go through the motions for everybody, that type of thing. I don't like to do that. I know people do that regularly. I don't like to do that. I don't like us acting.
Yeah. No, but my point is basically like if you're going to be together and you obviously didn't give this woman her day when you guys, succeed, get your house, you guys advanced in your career. Now you got money in the bank and you can afford it. Right. You can still give her that day later on.
Yeah.
That's my point too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I may have been involved in something like that. People would say that we didn't have any money when we got married. And
correct.
Some people and things like that. So yeah, they actually wanted to, because a lot of people, especially a lot of women, like to know that feeling of that day and then coming down that aisle.
Correct.
People never had that chance to do that. You know what I mean?
But I find those are some of the most successful marriages, man. You know, I've met some
because
people
you
like
got
that.
a little more life experience.
Yeah. You did. First of all, you didn't start off in debt, and you got married. You know, when you got married, you really wanted to be married. You know, it wasn't about the day or it wasn't about the pomp and the circumstances. They just went ahead and did the thing, you know, and lived their life. And then later on, they just had their day. You know, they just it's something about that. It takes a little extra foresight and thought. You know what I mean? Other than just the emotional response of just, hey, I want to have this big party. You know, so. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, our wedding was very small, simple, stress-free, and very inexpensive. Best wedding ever. Yes, it was. We had a very small wedding. You know, what I mean? A lot of people got uptight because they didn't get invited. You know what I mean? Had to deal with that later. But yeah.
Did Norette make her own cake for a wedding?
No, she did not. Her sister made it. Yeah.
Wait, I missed that. I missed that big comment down.
Yeah, let me see the big comment. Read that comment. Jamie, can you bring that up again, please?
Yeah, don't marry a woman who's obsessed with the wedding. Exactly. Marriage should be about partnership. Do it big when you can afford it. Women have been socialized to want a big wedding. Waste of money. It is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's a valid point.
It's all about the couple and partnership. Get everyone else. Only have people there that matter.
And that's a good point too. That's a good point. Because I'm going to speak from experience. Weddings are not cheap at all. And I'm going to tell you now another thing. You may set a budget, and I guarantee you're going over that budget.
Absolutely.
You're going over that budget.
Yeah,
so the thing is, if you got a budget for 15 grand, if you had a budget for 15 grand, you're spending 20, 22, 23, 24. Easy.
Think about the ring. Think about the ring that you bought.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff that you have to do that's the surrounding it. And then the sad thing is this. I've seen this. A lot of couples are so busy and trying to make this the perfect day, they don't get to enjoy it.
No, you don't.
That's a good point. Good point, Kelvin.
Perfect.
Good point.
And you tired. You tired after the wedding.
Right.
Exhausted.
Break from the wedding. Yeah, for real.
Correct. The wedding is not for you. It's actually for your guests. That's what it is. I'm dying for somebody to have a wedding so I can go eat up their shit. You know?
And you know what it is? You got $100 plate and somebody gave you as a gift Outback Steakhouse $25 gift card. You know it.
Yeah. My wedding was a fog to me. I mean, I don't remember a lot of it. Like you said, you're constantly moving. They're pulling you to take pictures. You're going here, you're going there, and I mean, I didn't even get a chance to really enjoy the food. I mean, I got to dance a little, some, but the wedding was for basic. I had to ask like D and other friends that were there, like, how was the happy hour? Was it good? Was it nice? Because I didn't see it, but I paid for it.
That's true. That's true.
But you know, that'd be a good idea. You know what people should do? People should get married, and if you make it past 2 years, then go ahead and do the big ceremony.
If you got the money.
Right, but I'm saying, like, in other words, because people right now are still paying for marriages and they're on the way to divorce, and they're still paying for weddings. I mean, $20,000 and $30,000. And this is how I feel about it. If you, and this is the way I do it, if you spend $20,000+ on a wedding, you should already be a homeowner.
Correct. I know somebody, and this is a true story. Not gonna say no names. I know somebody spent $50,000 on a wedding, got married, and they moved into her mother's basement. 50 grand in debt. Huh? This is in New York.
Oh, New York. I tell people like this: the weddings in New York, weddings like New York, when they have them like 150, 200 guests, and those shits is 50 grand off the muscle.
It is
off the muscle.
My cousin got married
on Thursday. I told my cousin came from down south. I said, "How much you think this wedding is?" I said, "Because it's on I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday, something like that." I said, "This is easy minimum." I'm looking at the place, 40 grand on a weekday. And they said, "What?" And I asked the father, and said, "Yeah, that's how much it cost."
Yeah. And the thing is, how technical you get, like I didn't have limos and all that stuff for my wedding. We just did everything in the catering hall, in the hall. Even had the ceremony in the hall, so you didn't have to travel. No guests had to travel, and it still was a bread. It still was a nice piece of cheese.
We got to talk about the worst weddings. I know Kelvin, you've been officiating. I had a cousin in Newark. One of the worst weddings I've been to in my life, my dude.
I've had a couple. I had somebody forget the license.
Somebody what?
I've had somebody forget the license.
Oh wow!
And you can do all that $40,000 and $50,000 you want. That license don't make it back to City Hall in 5 days. You got married.
Yeah, you ain't married.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? Then the other thing that is interesting is the destination wedding where the couple gets everything free and then all the friends and family got to pay for their accommodation. That's different as well. Where,
you find a lot of people show up at destination weddings, because I figured that would limit your guests, because a lot of people wouldn't want to fly.
But again, what happens is this: a lot of people come. Yeah, you're right, Rodney. You don't have 200 or 300 people at those destination weddings.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, a lot of people feel like the people that love you will support you any way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. That's why you don't need to do all of this. You see what I'm saying? I think what happens is people need to understand this. You cannot circumvent the experience of being in love, no matter how you dress it up. Like, in other words, it's not going to compensate for anywhere where there's a void at. And I think people think that. They think the bigger, the better, the brighter, the most expensive solidifies the union, and it doesn't. It doesn't do that. There's some people been, married and they had two nickels to rub together, but they genuinely loved each other. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter. And to this young man, the woman that's pressuring him to do this is saying she's not the one, because he should be enough. And respecting his wishes should be enough. And that's what we don't do. That's it. And I think we got to stop beating down men who just don't have the money to do all these lavish things. You know what I mean? Or the man wants to be responsible enough to say, I want a place to lay our head. Yeah. I'd rather have 365 days where we could be in this house together than one day where people ain't going to remember if they had the steak or the fish, and that's it.
Correct.
That's very, very true.
And you're going to be broke after that wedding.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember my father, my sister got married 84, I think it was. And I think he spent like 15, took a loan, spent like 15, 84 now. So people was like, oh, that's not, 1984, $15,000, like say 50 grand.
That's
it. Because people got to look at the price of cars was back then. All kinds of that. And my sister got divorced in 5 years. My father's still paying on that loan.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this, and I hate to say it because somebody I know, and I really hate to say it. I know somebody got married, and I don't know if you ever had this experience before, where you're sitting there and you know that this is not going to work. You know that the person should not be getting married. You know the person is not even all there. I remember feeling like an accomplice. I remember feeling guilty because when the minister was like, does anybody in here see just cause why these two should not be married? I want to raise my hand like all of us in here are guilty, because we know. When I tell you they got married on Valentine's Day and they went for an annulment 1 month later.
I know I got one beat better yet. I got a cat that Sam. I don't know if Sam knows his brother very well. He's this dude that goes to Albany. Jamie. Sorry, anyhow. So his brother got married on a Friday. They was getting split up on that Monday or Tuesday.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened, D?
She was the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Well, he knew that beforehand. Come on.
He had just found that out
on wedding day.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. They was young and dumb. We were like they were teenagers, maybe 19. That was just dumb. And
you should probably grow up first. You should probably be grown before you get married.
I don't believe in people getting married young. That's just my personal opinion. That's
after the stuff I've been through, and probably what we've been through.
Correct.
I think people should all get wait till they at least close to, if not 35 or better. Men should be 40.
Correct. I'm going to tell you, if you are not over the age of 35, getting ready to I don't think. I just think you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it.
You're probably absolutely right. I mean, there's something about maturity.
You should be better at picking out mates at that age as well, too.
Right. Because you know yourself better.
Correct.
Before that.
You know yourself better.
And you've dated other men and women or whatever, and you've been able to go through certain things and say, okay, this is not a good person. That's not. So you'll be able to read people a little bit better once you get older and wiser.
You realize beauty don't pay bills.
No, beauty don't pay bills. It doesn't pay bills at all. And sometimes beauty cracks too.
Right. And the next day you don't have that dress or tuxedo on.
Correct. And both of us won't be able to fit that tux or that dress we got married.
That's right. The figure 8 gonna be a figure 0.
Or Mr. and Mrs. and Mrs. Potato.
Jamie said beauty pays on IG. That's fact, though. Yo, but I'm mad at Jamie because Jamie knew, man. When he was at my wedding, man. Jamie could have helped me out, man. He could have stuck out and said something, man.
I knew too.
God damn it, Rodney.
No, we talked about this. Remember, you told me I can't believe you.
I'm gone. This is over.
I can't sit here. We had to talk about it. I said, you said, remember you got mad at me and said, why didn't you tell me? And I said, I can't tell you something like that at that point.
It was early in our relationship too. It was early, so I get it, man. But
yeah,
Jamie knew me since we were kids, man.
No, I knew. I knew that wasn't going to work. Man.
Yeah. So what do y'all think? Y'all believe in the trophy wife? You believe the trophy wife thing is real?
Trophy wife? You mean for looks?
I don't believe in trophy wife.
Nah.
Nah. What is it? What is that? What is this pretty wife that you gotta have?
I knew I wasn't even at the wedding. My sister. Shauna's like a sister to me.
Yeah. D, a lot of people knew. They knew.
God damn.
Yeah, a lot of people knew.
I'm a sucker for love.
But I did pray for you, though. I prayed for you, brother. I said, yo, I hope it works.
Too. Oh, you keep checking in, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, D, a lot of people knew. A lot of people knew that it wasn't going to work.
D, did I know you back then?
What year I got married? I can't remember. 03? It was 03, right?
Oh, I don't know. I remember.
I didn't even know you back then, and I knew, D.
Yeah. Lily was born in 06. It's 03. It's 03. Yeah. Damn.
The connection wasn't there.
God damn. It was. Damn.
No.
Damn, man.
I'll be honest with you. Look at the upside. You're a better man for it, though. You're a better man because of it.
I got a lot less money.
Hey, what got you to the altar in the first place, brother?
Pressure, motherfucker, saying like, you get a certain age. I was only in my 20s still. You know what I mean? People
that's how it was back then.
Yeah, people like, yo, you getting old, and your family talking about this, like, you can't be shacking up and all this other shit. You know, the religious shit came in the head and all that stuff. I'm like, God damn. And I say, you know what? They might be right. You don't want to grow older by yourself. I'm like,
you're 27 years old, man.
I'm gonna give some really good advice, right? Number one, don't listen to people unless you're getting it from somebody that's experienced, that's already married. That's number one.
I did. Number son of a bitch is one of Misery Love Company.
The thing is, too, when you start basing getting married on a timeline, like I got to be married before I'm 29, I got to be married before I'm 26. A
lot of women now.
Yeah, that's a dangerous look because the thing is, that time frame is about him or her. It's not about you guys together. It's based on just that one person. Oh, I got to be in this position in my company by this time. No, you're just being a piece in their timeline. You know what I'm saying? So I don't recommend when you hear people talking like that, that's not a good look for usually the other person.
Right. And whenever you do something to appease other people,
yeah,
we do a lot of things for that because people fall to societal pressure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always wanted to be married. But the thing is this, a lot of people they'll always point you in that direction, lead you that people always try to set you up. They always try to do these different things. One thing you've got to do, you got to know yourself well enough to say, I've got to do what works for me.
Correct.
If you don't do what works for you, then what you're going to do is somebody else is going to dictate to you what works, and that's not going to happen for you. So that's the reality of it. So you've got to know what you want. You've got to know what you don't want. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm not I didn't grow up with a proud beating mother and stuff like that. You ain't no good. You ain't good. So that getting angry and flying off the handle and walking out and storming out, I'm not a big fan of that. I believe, you should be able to talk things out and stuff like that. Now, in a perfect world, that happens, but it doesn't always happen. And you're not perfect. The person's not perfect. So you got to work together. But there's certain things that are deal breakers. Certain things that are deal breakers and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of nasty attitudes, no matter who it comes from.
Yeah. Another thing too, don't sacrifice your happiness to make somebody else happy. That doesn't work either. So like, I'm not that guy that believes in happy wife, happy life. That means that you're unhappy, but she's happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that.
Right. Definitely. No, I feel
as the great Beanie Siegel said, my wife said, "Change my life." He said, "No, I need to change my wife." Quote from Beanie Siegel.
Yeah. I never thought we would be getting marriage advice from Beanie Siegel. Maybe that's why Philly's divorce court is full. You know?
Court of the Beanie Siegel. Classic. But now this is a good
Don't
topic,
rush into marriage, y'all. Don't rush into it.
And should you marry your friend? Is that the question? Should you marry your friend?
I say yes.
Yes. Your wife.
I say absolutely yes.
For men and women, it should be your best friend.
See, D, you're 100% right. 100% right. The thing is this. I see people that men and women that try to be friends with a man and a woman. I mean, and I'm like, you guys don't even realize you're good with being friends. You'll probably even be great as a couple because you like hanging out with each other. That means you enjoy each other's company. You talk. Why don't you start a relationship? It's best to start off as friends because, like I said, then you enjoy each other's company and time, and you have things in common. So I agree 100%. You should marry your friend, unless he's a dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, there's a place for that too for people. Yeah, you go happy spouse, happy house. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And that's both spouses, man and woman. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now Sean and her husband, like those two are fucking funny as hell. If y'all follow them on Facebook, man, they crack jokes at each other. I love their relationship. I was there for that. Man, we used to play cards and Sean out all kind of shit though. That's my sister right there. So I love Ray. That's my brother.
You got to be able to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife, we tease each other and we joke around and whatever. But like I said, we're friends. You know what I'm saying? We're friends.
You gotta like each other, man.
You gotta like each other
for the
first.
rest of your life, right? You gotta like each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's dudes sitting in the living room right now, and as their wife walk by, they go, "I don't like her."
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. And you gotta kind of know the person's background too. I think all that stuff is important. You understand culture, you understand people's family, their upbringing, because you need to know somebody's makeup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a counselor one time say, "Don't marry a person unless you've seen them angry." You need to
That's
know.
A good point.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want her coming into about you don't want to make me angry. You wouldn't like me.
Well, you
thing is,
fight there too, you know.
you gotta you gotta know if your wife's gonna jump in if you're getting busy too, you know.
Yeah.
So.
and the other thing is, your girl gotta have a girlfriend. So a lot of people gotta have multiple wives.
Run this girl.
Okay, there we go.
Run this girl.
Come on, I ain't saying nothing crazy now. I ain't saying nothing crazy.
The thing is too, like with me, I always. When I was dating, I always look for the bad in the woman first, because the good is the gravy. That's good. People sometimes do it backwards. They look for the good first, and they don't pay attention to the bad, and that's when you get into bad relationships.
Right.
You got married with gang rules, though. No way out.
I tell you,
you gotta get jumped in. You gotta get jumped out.
You gotta get jumped in.
Them two. Now shout out.
Like, get jumped out.
Nah, for dudes, real talk. Like I'm not because Shauna's like chiming in on him. Like she'll ride or die for real for my man Ray, man. Like they've been through some stuff. Like, and I love Ray, and I'm not gonna put their business out, but Ray's a stand-up dude. I mean, one of the most stand-up brothers I've ever met, and he got the right one right there. Shout out to them. Word.
Very good. Very good for them.
Like she's a ride or die. Like people can take lessons from him and him as a man. He's a man's man.
I like to see that. I like to see couples that know that they are end all be all. You know what I'm saying? And they don't let anybody penetrate what they have. You know what I'm saying? Nobody infiltrates this relationship. You know? And if they do, you give them smoke together.
Exactly, man. Like we just talking about good brothers, man. We got to start protecting our sisters. Like we got some missing black girls, man, and indigenous people, man. They don't get the same attention and love as missing white women. And we've seen this race, like this white girl. Not shout out, not no disrespect to her and her family, but she was in the news trending for like 2 weeks, and we got countless and thousands of young black women and women of color, other women of color missing and get no headlines. Like we talked about how R. Kelly got away with 30 years of raping these and harming these young girls, and we still have no and they don't get no headlines. We all knew about this. Like this thing is going on. That's not saying with just white men, just black women in general get harmed by any kind of man. And your thoughts, gentlemen.
Well, the first thing I think you have to do is, honor your own, and we've got to be, in lockstep in making sure that we place the same value. And I don't know as a community if we've been able to do that. We've got to do that. We've got to lift a standard with that also, because any community that gets something is because they fought for it or because they wanted it, or, you know, and some communities obviously had an advantage from the beginning. But I think that's most important, because from a national standpoint, everybody else that can make stuff go viral and stuff like that, when it comes to us, we need to do the same thing. We need to make sure that we get this message out there that people from our community have been wronged as well. You know, especially young ladies. Now, and I'll say this, and I know this is gonna sound foul, and I really believe that. You know, from our pop culture standpoint, there's been a lot of degrading of women, especially when we grew up in the '90s. You know, it was a lot of that, and it was kind of accepted. It was promoted. And I think it just made a lot of people just think that we were more disposable, especially our women and stuff like that. You know, and that's just how, you know, the way we describe them, the way we talk about them and things like that. In a lot of cases, the way we treated them. And so I think we had to kind of do our own housekeeping there. And then when it comes to the national media, then if people don't give you the same coverage, then you have to let people feel that. I'm not going to support the advertiser. I'm not going to support your network if you don't give us the same coverage.
Yeah, and then like recently, you know, we just had this other sister, Randa, that's got Mia Marcano, right, out in Florida, right? She was yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jamie, for a picture. And this sister, she was she's been missing, and now the dude, the person of interest, he was wound up, he found dead himself. I don't know if it's self-inflicted wound. I'm not sure about the details on that. If any brothers want to chime in on that part of it, but like this sister been missing, and she's still missing, and like we barely get a peep. Somebody sent me on Instagram. I didn't even know what the story was. I was like, "What's the story?" And then Jamie put it and told us. I was like, "Oh, this is the same story I read the other day." Any thought?
Yeah. It seems. I think the maintenance man is involved because he's the one that's is a person of interest that has been found dead, and they say that basically the maintenance man had the master keys to her apartment, and they said that the apartment was entered with the master keys. So, but they have not found her yet. You know. But you're right. She's not getting a lot of press. A lot of people don't know about the story because there's a missing white woman right now. I mean, well, she's not missing. She was found. Her remains were found. They're looking for the fiance right now. But the thing is, I think the media plays a huge part in it, and they see white women as more valuable. And the thing is, too. They constantly run the pictures because they project the image that, you know, she's the American girl next door, you know, with, you know, the blonde hair, blue eyes, and the media kind of feels that that's going to get more attention than a young black lady, which is horribly wrong. But I think everybody's got value, but unfortunately, we live in a society that doesn't see it that way.
But if you don't get that value in life, what makes us think you're gonna get it in death? I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Well, that's true too.
We don't value living the same. It's not equality there, and it's not going to be equality in death. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, I think we've got to recognize it. So again, to me, you've got to make people recognize. That's just it. You know.
And I just want to add is that my sympathy goes out to everybody that's missing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think the situation with the white young lady or a sister or whatever, I want everybody to be found, hopefully alive. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I do deserve that everybody feels that everybody deserves equal amount of attention. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. And I'll say this too, and this is obviously younger people, probably younger than the average person in our audience, obviously. If you're with somebody who wants to keep you away from your family, if you're with somebody who doesn't want to be around your family, if you're with somebody who your family doesn't like, find out why. Yeah. People that love you don't like the person for you, then you need to find out why, because there's a reason.
Yeah. Usually people that want to keep you away from your family is because they want to control you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they figure if they get you away from your loved ones, then there's nobody to influence, or he may be revealed because maybe your father might say, hey, this dude is a jerk. He's an a-hole or what have you. And he may know that because men read men if you're a man, you know. But yeah, it's a control thing when somebody's trying to keep you away from your family.
No question.
And it happens on both sides. I've seen women get married, move men out of state so they can be away from their families too, so they can be in a controlled situation. I've seen it in both situations. You know.
Yeah, sure. Black women are not involved. Yeah, fuck the cowards that commit these crimes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Word up.
You know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you hear about the white news anchor who was suspended because he wanted to talk about how women, people of color, don't get the same news coverage? Ain't that something?
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he slipped it. Yeah, he got in trouble. He let some truth slip out, you know.
Yeah.
And,
The media preach the story that they feel is going to run better. That's what they're in the business of doing.
Well, it would have been on BET Nightly Evening News.
Well, hey, Gordon.
It had to be sold so we can have the Charlotte Hornets. So what I'm saying is you have no, you know, the strong 10th seed in the East every year. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, you gotta have a media outlet. You know what I mean?
Tim said his daughter was black, so it must have been a white dude that had was it adopted daughter? Somebody give us some insight. Was he black? So that's deep. That's deep. I mean, I don't know, man. It's
no, he's not. He's feeling that. He's seeing it. You know, because you can't hide from it. You know, you love who you love, and then you're seeing your own daughter just grow up being treated differently. You know, I wonder what that's like. You know, he had to have known before. You know, before that. You know, so it's interesting that you bring that on yourself sometimes. So kudos to him though for saying something though. Yeah.
Oh, his daughter was adopted.
Yeah, kudos to him, you know, for saying something, you know, for real.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, you know, and it's kind of goes to our thing we said that when people start taking effect and things are going on, you have to sing at Jill Scott. We talking about protecting our kids. Jill Scott's considering fleeing the United States for Holland, right?
Yeah.
Concerned about her teenage son's safety. I think his son's born. His son might be like in the early teens right now, something like that.
I think he's 9 or 14, something like that.
Yeah, he's still young. He's still young.
Yeah, he's still young.
Yeah, but he's. I mean, listen, you can't hide. You know, there's no way he's going to be able to go on this planet where he can hide. You know, there are places. Listen, at the end of the day, I mean, it's great, and you know what? If she can do that, great. You know. But the rest of us, man, we got to make it happen here. You know, we got to make it happen here. She shouldn't have to move. You know, to just to give him an opportunity to just live and just be a normal person and just just have some happiness and everything. You know, something's got to be done with us. Just as a people, where we just got to stand up for that young man's right to just live and just be. You know, and I know we try, and I don't know what that is, but I feel sorry for the sister that she feels that she has to do that. You know, but I wish she would stick around though and be part of the fight though. But with us,
yeah,
there's a lot of people in their mindset though. A lot of people want to get out, especially with the black kids. What we saw especially when 2020 with George Floyd and countless brothers and sisters getting killed and murdered, man. And I just wonder why Holland out of all the places. I've been there, but I wonder why.
She said because she likes the liberty there. She said everybody rides bikes there. Which one I think of riding a bike, I think of Jill Scott. And then the other thing was
hold up, who's gonna get the stroll tonight? Not me.
No,
I'll be honest with you, he shouldn't have got it for that.
No, man, it's been far worse.
We have
that's what I'm saying. Like, come on.
In this scenario, we gotta ask who's wrong, me or you guys. I could be playing it straight. I don't know.
No, I don't think Kelvin should have got it for that. I really don't.
But no, and so she said that. She also said that if people want to go and pay for sex, they could do it. She said not that she would do it. She said, but at least you know that you could. She said that. And she didn't clean it up the way I did, by the way. And so she was saying that. And so what it is, I think some of these artists, they go tour and they find places. My understanding is there was a time when men in the army went to Germany and they fell in love with it and never came back. Yeah. You know what I mean? And things like that. And so I remember talking to a woman recently, and she's Russian. And she's like, oh, I need to bring you over to Russia and you need to hang out with me there. I said, no, I'm not going to Russia. She said, no. It's not an issue with black people in Russia. Never heard that. Never thought of that. You know what I mean? So there's different things, but I'll say this, Jill Scott and people like this is what I feel. I think it's an interesting conversation. But my grandfather, my father, and my uncle went to war for this country. Nothing is going to make me leave it by default or something like that. You know what I mean? In other words, I have a right to be here. I was born here. and I'm not going to leave just because someone else may not want me to be here. That's the thing. And I understand you do what works best for you, and I don't knock people that leave. Some people go to the Caribbean or wherever they want to go. I'm just saying I don't want anybody to feel like they're forced to leave, especially when you've paid sweat equity in this country. And we've shed blood. There's not one war that we haven't fought in this country. And so as a result, I don't want anybody to force anybody out.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with anybody going anywhere. If you want to move to Holland, you want to move to Europe, whatever you want to go, I don't have no problem, But I will, and I get it. I get a mother, wanting to protect her child, and she's feeling uncomfortable in this country from what she sees going on. But Jill Scott probably lives somewhere here where her child is not as in danger as a lot of other kids.
I'm quite sure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Can you get insulated to let me apologize also, by the way. I'm sorry. What I meant was walking. She had a song called The Long Walk. That's what it was. That was one of her big hits. So I don't want
my favorite girl here, man.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to think I think she's a great artist. So I don't want anybody to think that was cynicism or sarcasm a moment ago. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, before Rod, go ahead, Rod.
Yeah. I don't think he should have got it for it. I still say that. But anyhow, I don't think Jill Scott lives somewhere where, a lot of our kids deal with, violence on the street, shootings, drugs, stuff like that, robberies. I think she probably lives somewhere where it's pretty nice.
She does, but we always know, no matter what, you can live in Beverly Hills. You got to come down from the hill.
You're going to get stopped.
Right.
Yeah. You're going to. I tried to. Kelvin, don't do something that's going to get you to scroll again.
No, I'm not saying that. I call this Derik live in a nice neighborhood.
Why you got to go man?
Yeah, Rodney live in a nice neighborhood.
Right, but Derik's son just had to deal with that reality. That's just the reality.
We got fireworks on September 29th.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, like I said, I named all the things that Jill Scott's son probably doesn't have to deal with. Racism wasn't on that list. You know what I'm saying? So I said, street violence, robberies, shootings, all that. I didn't mention racism. That shit is everywhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch your mouth about Jill Scott, I see.
But I can understand Holland. I ain't gonna lie. I like it over there. I know she went over there for the sticky wings.
So let's just ask you guys.
The sticky wings.
If you left the US, where would you go? I know D. Ghana. I know D.
Ghana's on my list. Ghana. I got a few places. Ghana, Antigua. It's gonna be people that look like me. I could visit Holland. It's cool. I like the bikes is a little bit or too much for me. It's a lot of bikes. If you ever go, there's a gazillion bikes, but I think it's gonna be some kind of black spot for me, bro.
You think we know that, D? That was a rhetorical question.
It will be a black country.
Right. We know you're not going to Switzerland, D. We know that.
Nah. Fuck no. Yeah, that's me.
Where would you go, Ron?
I'll be honest with you. I would want to go somewhere tropical. You know what I'm saying? I like the beach, palm trees, clear water. But the thing is, I would want probably, and me and my wife had talked about this, we want isolation. We want to build maybe a house on a hill and have a view and then not too far from the beach. See, I want scenery as well as peace. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have one specific place I can name, but it would probably be tropical. Like I said, D said Antigua. I would agree with that. I loved Antigua when
I gotta go. That water's telling where I blew the water.
It is. Let me tell you something.
Super blue.
What's the name of that beach in Antigua?
I can't remember.
I can't think of it right now. But if my wife is watching, text the name of that beach that me and you went to that you loved. There's a beach there where the water is so calm, the sand is so white, and the water is so clear. You do not want to leave. I've never seen anything like that. My wife is still talking about that beach to this day.
Yeah. See, my wife is checking in. She's already answering your question that hasn't even asked to me yet.
Yeah.
Costa Rica, Ghana, and Nigeria. Yeah, we hire Ghana, but and Nigeria would be great. The most realistic place would be Costa Rica, since that's where her family is from. That would be the equivalent of us moving down south or something almost.
You'll sit there listening to some mint condition.
Yeah.
Hey, leave mint condition, man. They got a great show, man. Kelvin, where would you live, bro?
Where would I live?
Yeah.
I'm going just the opposite. I'm going to Switzerland. I'm not no. I've had enough natives. That's right. I had enough of natives. That's right.
Oh man, oh man. Speaking of Europe, we got some European fox. I can't pronounce his name. Ugos. What's the name pronounce it, Derek?
Jordanis Ugas.
Ugas.
Yes.
They just won the championship from what's the bum name, Derek?
This is that. Now this is not Ordani Ugas. That was Alessandro Usyk. All right. So he is. Came up from the cruiserweight. He was undefeated champ of cruiserweight division. Just beat Anthony Joshua.
There you go.
That's the bum he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the bum.
Right?
Yeah. The underwear model, basically. Yeah.
He's an underwear model. That's a classic line, son.
I'm gonna admit something. I didn't even know that Anthony Joshua lost until I got the doc from Jamie, the producer. I didn't even know. That's how I'm not even aware of what's going on in boxing. Another thing too, I think what Anthony Joshua is doing is a disgrace to boxing. How he picks his opponents. And first of all, who are these people that he is fighting? You know, I got a phone call because Anthony Joshua wanted to fight me too. He just picks anybody. They called me. My wife answered the phone. She said, "It's some people from Anthony Joshua's camp talking about, do I want to fight?" You know, this is what he's doing. He's just picking people that no one knows. The biggest money is in the big names like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. He has no interest in fighting them. And let's face the facts. He has lost twice to opponents that he should have walked through. One guy looked like the Michelin Man that he lost to, and he knocked him out. Anthony Joshua should considering a model career, and he should exit boxing. And that's my opinion on Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
be a model, dude.
Boxing is a star, man.
And another thing, doesn't he keep all his fights over in London?
Yeah.
He don't come to the States, right?
No, I mean, I think he
came once. Once.
Yeah, he came
He
once.
fought in the Garden, right? That's where he lost.
The Garden or the Barclays?
He lost. That's where he lost. He lost to Ruiz here.
With Ruiz, Andy Ruiz, right?
It was at
Michelin Man beat him.
Was it at Barclays? No, it was at the Garden or Barclays?
I think it was at the Garden.
I think it might have been the Garden.
And he got knocked out.
He got knocked out, and that was his first step-up fight, if you ask me, because all the guys he fought they were all like, European fighters from England mostly or whatever, just local domestic level fighters. And then the first time he left it was also the first time he left England, and he got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? So, Andy Ruiz is a legit heavyweight, by the way. He was,
absolutely. Look how overweight he is.
Well,
he's absolutely a legit heavyweight.
But talented as well, because you have to remember he was undefeated when he fought Joshua. You know what I mean?
He was undefeated at the buffet, Derek. At the buffet. Do you ever? I mean, Kelvin, have you seen this guy? What we talking about?
Nah.
This guy's stomach is hanging over the freaking the trunks. Like, I mean, I wish Jamie could pull up a picture of him. You wouldn't even believe that he's a boxer.
Yeah, but he looked like a man that changed tires for a living.
Correct.
He did, but he's looking better these days. You know what I mean?
I heard he dropped some weight.
Yeah, he dropped some weight.
But when he fought Joshua, I mean, for a professional fighter to come in with that type of weight on him, I mean, Derek, come on, that's not an athlete right there. Now I know the guy hits hard. I know he is a boxer. I've seen him fight other fights. He hits hard, but the guy needs to take a little bit more pride in his training.
No, absolutely, and he paid for it the second fight. The rematch. He came into that ring, and you could just tell he just let himself go. He's rested on his laurels. And he enjoyed his first win a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What happened was the second fight, I think Joshua knocked him down and a chicken wing fell out, right?
No. Yeah, he boxed him. He outboxed him and he went the distance. It was a very underwhelming unanimous decision by Anthony, for Anthony Joshua. Joshua just did his job. He went in there and just kept range and just outboxed him and Andy Ruiz, he came in with a game plan and he didn't rush him and he beat him. So but this guy Alexander Usyk, man, I'm telling you, he's a good fighter. You're about to see some really interesting things in the heavyweight division, I think, because this guy Usyk, he's gonna have to fight. He's gonna have he's gonna have to come up the hard way because he's a European guy, he's Eastern European, I think Ukrainian, and he doesn't speak any English. He's not that marketable. You know what I mean? So but he's got like 3 or 4 belts, so he's gonna have to come up the hard way. He's gonna have to fight everybody.
Okay, let me ask you this, Derek. Let me ask you a question, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, sometimes, from what I've learned from experience in boxing, when I was a big fan of boxing, usually guys have clauses in these fight contracts that they have to give a rematch. Does Anthony Joshua have that rematch clause with this guy? So then he can't move on and fight anybody else. The thing is fixed. Like he can't even go nowhere and fight. You have to beat him 100 times.
And Anthony Joshua is going to he's going to activate that rematch, all right, clause. And
just like he did with Andy Ruiz, right?
Yeah, but the difference is he's going to lose again. Because Usyk, the way Usyk beat his behind,
right, you have to say this guy whipped his ass.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It wasn't even close, bro. Like he really could have went for the knockout. But his corner was like, listen, do what we said we were going to do. Just stick to the game plan. And that's what he did. He was really feeling himself like, yo, I could go knock him out. They were just like, nah, because they knew if they knocked him out, they can't get the rematch. You see what I'm saying? Right. So he's like, oh man, I get to get this guy's ass twice. Absolutely. Take your time, beat him, keep it alive for the rematch, and then you get the rematch money.
And then you get a second big payday, bigger payday.
Yeah, you get a second big payday. He's got to come see you, and he's going to come see you. So now you got 2 good paydays because nobody's going to want to fight Usyk, man. He's not a draw on his own. The only draw he's going to make is through beating Joshua twice. You know what I mean? And then hopefully he can talk to Wilder or Fury or somebody to get them in the ring at some point because they're going to come calling for those other belts, you know. So he's got to maximize his profit potential.
Now let me ask you another thing, because this guy that beat Joshua, he's smaller than Joshua, he's shorter, right? So then for him to fight like Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, he's going to look very small in that ring. Those guys are huge.
He looks small against Joshua. Joshua's 6'6". Deontay Wilder's 6'7".
Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah.
You know what? Let me ask you this question. When Tyson fought, the world would watch. When Allen fought, the world would watch. Can we ever get back to what used to be the most coveted world title? Most coveted title in all the sports used to be that of the heavyweight champion of the world. Are we remotely close to ever getting back?
We're closer than we were before.
No.
We're closer than we were before.
Shit.
We're closer. We're closer.
Let me tell you something.
You have somebody in mind. You have somebody in mind.
Right. Let me get this one.
Go ahead and get him. Go ahead.
My man Rodney is an avid boxing fan. He know when I get tickets at the Barclays, we do business. I get tickets. I call Rod, whatever. He's a super boxing fan. What he didn't know is nobody in the heavyweight division, man. I'm telling you now. I go to fights, Derek. I have no interest in. I can't.
There is somebody on the way that you can tell us about.
Worst. Let me tell you something. Yes, this is the worst year of boxing I have seen.
Not year.
No, more than year.
Okay, fine. I'm just counting this year.
But Derek, give me a name that's somebody that's on the way. Derek, give me a name of somebody that's on their way up.
Jared Anderson in the heavyweight division. Watch out for him. All right, Jared.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna go back to something that D said on another show. Right, Derek. If you had a fight party, right? I want you to pick 2 fighters that would fight that you can have a fight party, and we would show up.
Y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like boxing.
No, because it's not. No, I do like boxing.
I've been to boxing in Vegas.
You got a really good fight coming up right now. You're going to watch. Terrence Crawford is going to fight Sean Porter. That's
okay. I know both. I know who both of them are.
I don't move my feet to go to.
But the thing is, so you think that you could have a successful fight party at your house with those 2 fighters, and people would show up?
Yeah, it's a party.
I don't.
Shit,
are they there for the party or are they there for the fight?
They come for no rest food.
Correct. People gonna come there for no rest food, eat the food at the table, and they're not even gonna be near the TV.
And let me tell you, man.
I'll tell you what boxing needs to do. Boxing needs to hire Derek.
He can be a promoter. He can be a promoter.
He does. I love the fact that he's not giving up on it. He's still got the passion.
No, I'm gonna tell you something. I respect Derek's drive and how he believes in what he believes in. I always respect people that stand on their square. And when it comes to boxing, Derek is going to stand on his square. He's going to stand on it.
And speaking of staying on the square, Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving misses team media day due to New York City COVID-19 proof of vaccine requirements. This happened yesterday for people to notice in the sports world. Kyrie Irving media day in New York for all athletes that play sports in New York City. You have to show that you've been vaccinated to play. I think the Knicks is 100% vaccinated. I think the Nets is 99%. And Kyrie Irving, who's a superstar, and we know that the Nets probably could have went to the championship if he was there. He's not there. I don't know what they're going to do with guy. Got 80. People know it's 82 basketball games, 41. If he doesn't show, he can't play 41 of those games at home.
I'll just say this.
And he won't get paid for them.
If it wasn't this, it would be something else with Kyrie.
Seriously.
It would be something else.
I say trade him. I say trade him, man.
It has to be, but you can't.
I would trade him. He's not worth it for me. The headache every year.
Can't because Durant wants him there. And that's just it. They've given Durant the keys to the kingdom when it comes to the Nets. So they're in a bad situation. I have never in my life seen more disgruntled millionaires ever. Kyrie Irving is one of the most unhappy people. You're gonna come to New York, which is the #1 media market in the world. So you come to New York, and the biggest thing is this vaccination thing. If you don't get it, you cannot play in this city. And you talking about please respect my wishes and don't ask me that. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And these people are paying you an inordinate amount of money. They've got to grow the sport. And part of that is having you on the floor. So if you're not going to get the shot and you're not going to play, then declare it now, and that's it.
And that's for trade.
Yeah.
No, retire. Because eventually you still don't. It's not going to get better. You're going to wind up having to go to certain cities where it's going to start being required. So that's it.
Well, the thing is, as I just finished saying, I respect people that take a stance, right? I never thought I would be here having a conversation and giving Kyrie Irving, like saying that I respect what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, he's the one that has to take the hit at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he's got to take the hit. The bottom line is, if he believes strongly enough in his beliefs, which I thought this country was, and I saw today how people on ESPN were basically kind of like going after him and another ball player. At the end of the day, it's their problem. It's their problem, and it's their beliefs that they don't want to take it.
But Rod, that's not the issue about him taking it. Not what I'm saying is.
Wait, I want to finish this too. Mm-hmm. And I never thought that I would be, like I said, giving props to Kyrie Irving, because this is a man that also said that the earth was flat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to throw that in there too. But like I say, like I've always felt like if you stand on your square and you say, this is what I believe in, I think as Black people, we should look at that person and say, yo, he's standing for what he believes in, because it takes a lot of courage to do that. He's going to lose millions of dollars. Him and a few other players will lose millions of dollars.
Andre Wiggins. He's gonna lose it.
Yeah, correct. He's going to probably lose like $31 million.
Because he's in the city of San Francisco.
Correct. The thing is, I just believe that if that's what the stance they want to take, we can't condemn them for that, because
I'm not condemning.
I'm not saying we. I'm not saying we. I'm telling you about what I saw on ESPN.
Okay.
As Black people, we can't condemn them. Now I know they're getting paid and they have to push a certain narrative, but we should still kind of support Black people when they're taking a stance and they're not being ignorant or foolish or whatever. Because if we stood together more often, we wouldn't be in the place that we in this country. So don't let certain things divide us.
No, you don't have to. But he strokes that narrative. That's my point. What I'm saying is this: Wiggins is saying from the gate, I got a religious thing. I want the religious exemption. They're not going to give it to him. I'm not. Kyrie, are you vaccinated? I don't want to discuss that.
Yeah, well, LeBron James did the same thing though, Kelvin. He just recently announced that he was taking the vaccine, and they would go. I saw on ESPN they were going after LeBron. Like, what took you so long to say you was vaccinated?
In California, in that ring. That's what it is. At the end of the day, LeBron is not. LeBron got about a good year or two in this league left. And he's going to do it. What I'm saying is this: with Kyrie or Kanye West or whatever, it always has to be confusion. It always has to be this. I'm saying the words. Listen. I don't want $30 million a year because I ain't gonna take this shot. I'm going home. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. That's all. And that's it. Don't ask me nothing. But I'm gonna go to media day, and the media can't ask me no questions about the biggest thing with this championship team.
But Kelvin, you got to understand how the media works. They're trying to pull him into a trap. It's the same thing with what's it, LaShawn what's the running back from Marshawn Lynch? The same thing. They ask him certain questions because they know he's
any question, though, Rob.
Yeah, but because they know that they're trying to get him to say something that they could blow it up.
But master your words. Master your words.
My thing for him, my thing for Kyrie is he's such a distraction for the team always.
Always, wherever you go.
I agree.
No. I can't. If I'm the owner, I'm gonna sit down with KD. Like, KD, listen, I could put together a package. We need somebody that's here 82 games. We can't design our games around a person that's only here for 41 games. We got to figure out something. We got to get some picks. We can get some. KD, you can get almost damn near any dope ass point. You can get a dope ass point guard back for Kyrie. Let him go to one of them southern states like Atlanta and play somewhere and get some packages together and move on. And just got to move on. I think you got to move on from Kyrie. For me, as a business part of it, I got to move on from Kyrie. Yeah, I need somebody to 82 games.
I understand that. I totally get it. I understand that he's got to be there for a game or whatever. But the thing is, they got this one thing. And sometimes you got to look at it. Sometimes things are strategic. Kyrie Irving could be playing two angles on this thing. He goes, we have a potential of maybe making it to the championship, and they need me to do that in a way. So the bottom line is maybe I'm just going to play this thing out to show them that they don't have as much power as they think they do. Kyrie Irving is a little off. So I kind of question certain things that he does. Like I said, we're talking about a guy that said the earth was flat.
He's the Kanye West of NBA.
I get that.
He just disappears for about a few games. Like,
I know.
He's not
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, in other words,
then the organization should trade him. They should trade him, and then basically it. And then, but somebody's got to pick him up. He's just going to continue.
I'm gonna be honest. Let me.
No, this guy, what Damon said, black narrative. Yeah. This motherfucker sick. I'm black. I couldn't fuck with him. And y'all know I love black. I can't fuck with him. I can't. I can't fuck with Kyrie.
I'm on a basketball team, but I don't want to ask me questions about whether I'm gonna play basketball or not at media day. I mean, you know, it's always him. It's always him.
No, I get it. I agree 100%. I know
they come out tomorrow. If they come out tomorrow and say, you are not allowed to take the vaccine, first person gonna fight to take it, Kyrie Irving. I promise you.
You ain't lying, brother.
No, it's him. It's just him.
I got a theory as to why he does this stuff, but I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, don't let the devil use it.
Because if I do, I have to run my own scroll. If I ain't gonna say it,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kelvin. I agree with you on one scroll. I don't know if I can help you on the second one.
I
think it's something. Where Kyrie
I think him and Durant got the.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let the enemy use. See, the enemy is trying. You got 8 minutes left. Trying to use. I'm not gonna let the enemy use.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna let the enemy use me. He's trying to use me.
Yeah, fight him. You fight him. It's the devil. Yeah, fight him off. Oh man.
Listen, man, I'm watching and chopping, man. It's some good programming, at least the last few days. We got Raising Kanan season just finale. The finale just happened the other day. Supposed to be based out of South Jamaica, Queens, the early stages of Kanan. This is a spinoff from the Power series. Produced, I think executive producer 50 Cent. I like this season. I liked it better than that Power shit with Tariq. This one was better. The acting is better, but I didn't like it was fake South Jamaica Queens. But besides that, it was a good story. I thought it was a good story. So, anybody else see it?
I definitely say it's a watch. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. It was good storyline. I found some of the characters very interesting. I definitely liked the mom. The mom was truly gangster.
And I like Jukebox.
Yeah, I like Jukebox. I like the mom, and I liked the uncle Lulu. I like Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu looked like a real hustler.
Yeah.
The one that was kind of over was Joey Badass character.
Joey Badass, I'm gonna say, I know D's gonna disagree with me.
What?
I thought Joey Badass played a good role, believe it or not. I thought he played it good.
No, he was good. I'm not saying it was bad. It was just like he was just a little over the top. He played a good, like, an arrogant hustler.
Yeah.
He played an arrogant hustler very well because we all grew up with those guys.
He was extra, a little bit too too hardish, but
exactly.
that's the character he was playing. But nobody was harder than trying harder than Mary J. Blige, because she was beefing with everybody.
Is she ever happy?
No, she was beefing with everybody. Her kids, she had beef with everybody.
She was mad that the sun came up. Fuck
yeah. I'm gonna have to put hands on you. I'm gonna have to take you out.
Why the moon shining?
Yeah, she was beefing with everybody. She was never happy.
Never happy. Anybody else check it out? You guys can check it out yet, man? Well, Kelvin,
I don't have cable, brother. Y'all already getting on me on my Wi-Fi.
Maybe we get some cable. The Wi-Fi act regular. Wi-Fi's alone. It needs some cable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I haven't gotten a chance to watch it myself, man. I just haven't had time and whatever. But I was never into it though, man. The spin-off, the whole it was never my bag, man. It was just never my bag. I never got into it myself. But I will check it out though. But on the positive side, I got a lot of. If I do get into it, I got a lot of catching up to do. It'll be like new for me. You know what I mean? So that'll be a good thing. It'll be like I got.
The advantage is you get to watch the whole series without waiting for it.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I can binge it one day, and maybe I'll get into it. We'll see what happens.
It's getting chilly, like Rodney said. The weather's changing. It's getting chilly. So like there's a lot of stuff I gotta catch up with, man. There's so many things people told me about. I got it like queued up.
Yeah, you and your lady can sit down, watch it, snuggle up, chill.
Then watch that. And I got other stuff I want to watch.
Hey, this is a child show. It's a child show.
Try not to get an X rating here.
Yeah, right. And another one, another 50 Cent spinoff that just recently happened. It's called BMF, Black Mafia Family. It's only one episode. It just started on last Sunday night. I thought it was excellent. It's about people don't know Black Mafia Family. His brothers out of Detroit. That's really Big Meech's son on the left-hand side. It's our left. I don't know how it looks on the screen for everybody else. But on the left-hand side, and they got into the drug. When we hear that trap music, these are some of the founding dudes that helped out promote that trap music and stuff in hip-hop. Big Meech and them. So there's a Black Mafia Family. So I saw it. I thought the first episode was pretty good. Anybody else see it?
Yeah, I saw it too. I agree. I thought it was pretty good too. It was off to a really good start. Usually those series have to start off really slow, trying to introduce all the characters, but it seemed like they got right into it really quickly, and that was good. I enjoyed that,
Yeah.
Well,
one thing I've seen is this reality show I'm on right now called Work. That's about it. That's the only thing I've seen lately.
Oh man. But now it's pretty good. Just check it out, man. You got a lot of. We always talk about we want to see our reflections, even if it's these kind of stories. Some of these might be kind of dark, but also with this, if people can check out, you're seeing black actors, supporting black actors, and you've never seen stories from Detroit, like a Detroit gangster based thing, but also it showed that they had family. It showed that the father was in the house. He worked a blue collar job at the plants back in Detroit in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, late 80s to the 90s. We all grew up the same age in the teenage. We all grew up in our 80s. So it showed that people look like, oh, it's a gangster. No, but look at the family part of it too.
Yeah.
Look at what happened. Some of the reasons why these young cats went to these streets, especially in Detroit. We all know how Detroit was, and the options were like, you could get a job at the plant, but all the jobs started going to Japan, and then like, yo, my son got a wad of money. We got to keep these lights on.
Correct. I mean, they didn't have much options. They didn't have. The bottom line is either you worked in the car plant, or that was basically it, or you hit the streets.
That's it. When the car plants left, what else do people have?
Correct. I will say this, right? I give 50 Cent a lot of credit, man, for basically taking these street stories and putting them on TV as series and making a ton of money. Yeah. And he still has stories coming. There's still more. You know what I'm saying?
He's creeping up on Tyler Perry territory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's really
in that regard.
Yeah. He's bringing a lot of street legends and a lot of street stories to life. I think it's pretty ingenious.
Yeah, we fed. How many years we fed Italians?
Yeah, watching the mafia. Yeah, correct.
Sopranos. We can go on. We can keep going on a list of that shit.
Correct.
So even though it's like in a dark light, but we have those kind of stories. So we could go from the Medeas to the 50 Cents to anything in between. And that's what we need to hear.
That's good, man. Yeah, you have a nice range, of experience, which is, it doesn't have to be all one thing. Like, we had the blaxploitation era in movies where, it was always kind of, a similar thing. It was always pimp holes and gangsters and all of that, and it seems like we're starting to get a little bit more of a of a range. So that's
Yeah,
good.
as long as I want to see no more slave movies.
Yeah.
That shit ain't no Mansa Musa type of joint. I don't want to show.
Yeah.
That's what we need to look
But,
for. We need to get the Mansa Musa story going, brother. That's where I'm at with that. Real.
And who bringing in the fireworks into the hood be the next movie. Who is bringing them goddamn fireworks, man? Anyway, brothers, man, it's the last minute. We got to go, man. Thanks for everyone showing up and showing out for us. Love us. Please like, subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Ring that bell. We need 2 more people. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We love you all. Peace, and peace.